So good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bhupesh Daharia, and I extend very warm welcome to all of you joining this very important panel discussion, Transforming Project-Based Learning, PBL, through AI. And along with us, we are privileged that today we have panel expert from academia and industry. They're going to share their insight on this very relevant topic. Before we actually start discussing deeper into the panel discussion, Anita Ram, my colleague, has a brief presentation for you. She'll give the presentation and then we'll start the panel discussion, a very brief presentation for 5 minutes. Anita, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Share my screen. Hope my screen is visible to everybody and I'm audible.
Yes. Dr. Rajesh, Mr. Harvey, Mr. Jacob, can you please switch on your video? Dr. Inandar. Anita, please go ahead.
Sure, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Anita Ram and I'm the director at Assessfy. I welcome all of you at today's event. And as sir mentioned, before we go ahead with the panel discussion on a topic transforming project-based learning with AI, I would quickly like to highlight what we are doing in this space, what exactly Assessfy does. So I would like to introduce you to Assessfy AI platform. So what we actually are into, like Assessfy enhances learning outcome with automated evaluation and personalized feedback. This is done for handwritten, digital, and oral assessments, which is done for all domains across all subjects. And the assessment can be done, this entire practice can be done in manual, co-pilot, and autopilot modes. So with this, you get to understand that Assessfy is an assessment platform. So before moving ahead, I would like you to go through a short video. Just allow me a second. I think there's some problem. Just a minute. Okay, a short video for you all.
You can skip the video, Anita. Looks like
Okay.
it's not playing. You can just skip it.
Okay. There's some problem. Okay, so quickly let me introduce you to Assessfy AI. Assessfy transform assessment into a powerful learning tool by using AI to provide a personalized and real-time feedback to the students. Just not the scores, but beyond that, they get a meaningful insight and a guide to really learn and improve themselves. So Assessfy is a learning tool that we understood. It gives a comprehensive coverage across all type of assessment, right from handwritten, digital to oral, across all subjects and domain. Also, it helps in automated evaluation and grading. Couple of challenges in traditional assessment, if I have to highlight, yes, traditional assessment have their own shortfalls. They offer limited feedback, don't foster higher order of thinking, and that really fails to promote active learning. So a lot of it really has a limitation when it doesn't help to develop the higher cognitive capabilities. Ineffective use of assessment as a learning tool, there is lack of feedback and limited practice for students. Challenges manual evaluation. Yes, it's a time consuming process when it comes to manual evaluation. Faculties have to invest a lot of time when the batch size is great, big or huge. So evaluation is a time consuming process. Also, when a batch size is used, giving feedback to every student for every answer again becomes challenging. And as I said, it's a issue when it comes to scalability. As we said, Assessfy is a platform that really helps all different modes of assessment, right from handwritten, digital, oral. It covers everything. all covers all domains and courses right from mathematics, coding, histories, technology, engineering. At Assessfy, we have developed this, intelligent agents that really manage all sort of process and products under Assessfy. We have Cogni Analyzer that helps in developing the cognitive capabilities. It's basically a agent. Then Reflectify, personalized expert feedback agent that helps the faculties, supports them to really provide the faculty feedback to the students, that helps the student to understand their performances and grow from there. Subscribe Scan, it's handwritten assessment evaluation assistant agent that helps the student to really scan their answer sheet, provide submit it to Assessfy, and then the evaluation happens for that. SSGen, it's nothing but assessment questions generator, where you can really generate the questions as for any subject, any domain, as per the faculty's requirement. Answer Quill, it's answer generator agent. Proctorguard, it helps to assign or generate any assessment with proctoring mechanism. LearnLies, it's learning outcome measurement system, where you can really measure the learning outcome of any course, whatever you are teaching, and with the Assessfy platform. Code Critic, coding evaluation assistant that helps for coding assessment evaluation. Voicify, oral assessment auto evaluator. Again, it helps to have one of its kind of oral assessment where students can record their audio to the system and get a proper evaluation feedback for the same and understand their progress and performances. Subjective well, it's auto evaluator assistant for subjective kind of assessment. So these are different projects and agents under Assessfy that can really help the faculties to support them with their entire evaluation and teaching process. Moving ahead, as I mentioned, Assessfy platform can be used by the faculty members in manual, co-pilot, and autopilot mode. Co-pilot mode is one of the modes which is highly used by the faculty members, and that's helped them to really uh, analyze and use the platform in a greater way. Actionable insight and reports, yes, after the evaluation is done, there are different reports that suppose the faculty member to really have a detailed insight about their teaching methodology, how SSY can really support them. Now coming to the new, the today's agenda, what we are trying to do is transforming project-based learning and evaluation with SSY. Yes. So what is actually project-based learning? Let's focus on that. I hope my slide is visible.
Yes, it is visible,
So,
Anita.
yes. So, project-based learning is nothing but the student-centered methodology, where learners solve real-world problems through collaboration or working in the team. So, this is what project-based learning is, what we understand. Now, challenges in project-based learning, right from project ideation to project allocation, time management, equal participation from all the student, project completion and the quality of the project work done, and also the evaluation. These are a couple of challenges what we have understood when the project is in group when the students are working into team. So for a faculty or a mentor to really guide and work on all these areas is actually a challenge what we've understood. Challenges in project evaluation in academia. Um, yes, so evaluation is one of the most difficult part when what the faculties face. Assigning suitable evaluators, when it comes to evaluate the projects, then centralize documentation of all these projects at one place so that the faculty has ease of evaluating them. It's a time consuming process when there is a group of 5 to 6 students who are working in a same project, and also how the faculties is putting the inputs on each of the student to really understand how to really evaluate and grade them. So, couple of challenges, yes, there are in project evaluation. Same lack of standardization, limited feedback. What you have to give to every student, how they have really worked and performed on the project, and also a progress track of that. So we understood that this is the challenge and limitation. So here we are introducing SSY, how SSY can really help in this area to really overcome this challenge. So it's an AI powered platform that addresses the challenges what we talked about just now. Whether you are teaching engineering or management, SSY adapts your need. It helps in managing projects, evaluating the outcomes, and providing you with continuous feedback. So end-to-end solution for project management, evaluation, and feedback, what I said. So yes, so it gives you end-to-end workflow, multiple evaluation methods, which is flexible assessment option, combining the human expertise and AI as well, and real-time feedback, what we have already discussed. Couple of key features what we have in Assessfy platform: smart project allocation, so it can assign project to individual groups with through the algorithm what it has. End-to-end workflow, right from complete project management system. It has like project idea banks, so a lot of project repository is already available where it can really, you can choose as per the discipline or domain and allocate it to the students. Project material repository, all the project material repository can be stored at one centralized place for the faculties and the students to have a to refer it anytime when they want. Customizable rubrics, so yes, all the assessment criterias can be tailored around the rubrics, and the specific learning objectives and can be evaluated through that. Milestone setup and tracking, of course the project has certain timelines, so all the milestone setup can be done in through the Assessfy platform. The tracking can be done, which milestone would be completed and how many, what is the time frame for the same and all that. Flexible evaluation, you can choose between manual or AI powered mode, hybrid assessment, whatever is opted by the faculty. Continuous feedback, so this project is an ongoing process, so you have an option to evaluate the student uh, with every milestone what they're achieving, and providing them with the feedback on their performances or what they have done. And evaluator assignment. Key program areas, so it can be done for all the programs. Like I said, we support all subjects, all domains, so similarly projects can be worked in every area and every domain. Comparison with different platforms, what we provide and what they have. So advantages of Assessfy: data driven insights, versatile assessment options, and seamless integration. And these are different applications area where we provide, deliver value across all multiple education domains. So that's it. I wanted to just highlight the brief introduction about project-based learning and the evaluation, how it can really happen through Assessfy AI in very easy process. So that's all from my side. Any questions, or else we can move ahead with the next part of the panel discussion.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you so much for setting up the context.
Thank you, sir.
Again, good afternoon, everybody. And I'm Bhupesh Daharia. I'm a CEO of AGC School of Data Science and AI, and I'm also founder of Assessfy. I extend very warm welcome to all the delegates, all the participants from across the globe, and a special welcome to all the speakers. And we have distinguished experts from academia and industry. And to begin with, Dr. Jayantra Patil, he is the director for Shirpur R.C. Patil Institute of Technology, Shirpur. We have Dr. Rajesh Thakkar, Director R&D, Gujarat Technical University, Ahmedabad. We have Mr. P.U. Jacob. He is a Senior VP for Hexaware. This is among top IT firms. We have Dr. Sandeep Inamdar, Trustee and VP for Vishwaniketan Institute. We have Harvey, Dean for School of Environment and Design. So I extend welcome to all of you. I'll request please switch on your video. Unfortunately, Dr. Mantha and Dr. Saluja could not really join. So let's take a deep dive into our panel discussion. Mr. Jacob, Mr. Harvey, Dr. Sandeep, if you can really switch on your video. Okay, great. So let's take a deep dive into our panel discussion, and I would like to ask the first question to Dr. Patil, to you. We have been talking a lot about project-based learning, right? So I would like you to actually throw some light. What is so different about this project-based learning than the normal academic learning, and why it is so important?
So actually, when you are just teaching a theory, most of the time it is not grasped by everybody. But when it is a project and with a properly formed outcomes Then, like the madam explained in the thing, like properly form the evaluation rubric, and then finding out whether it is being done in a proper way. Depends on, it starts with a size of you can say a project group, because if it is a too big a size, then who has done what, that becomes a problem. So it is a problem with the big institutes. Like in engineering institutes, like there are thousands of students. Then allocating the number of students to a guide with the specific expertise becomes very difficult. And similarly, finding out the students who are having the common interest. Because if the projects are done in a, for example, say in a multidisciplinary fashion, then in that case, again, finding out and choosing the students becomes difficult. And what I feel is most important challenge is uh, assessing them. That if you are integrating them in your framework or credit work or somewhere else, but somehow it is always better than we say traditional just assessments, because the students are actually doing some work, so they know something, so they can take the ownership of that particular thing. And if it is a relevant social or area related a problem, then in that case, it again becomes very significant in terms of the contribution.
Thank you so much, Dr. Patel. Thank you for your insight. Dr. Rajesh, since you're involved into R&D, right? So we all are aware there are two ways, primarily there are two or rather three ways of structured teaching into the classroom. One is plain vanilla teaching. You put the students in the class and then start teaching them the theoretical stuff, and you can give them the books. And now LMS and MOOC platforms are available, and they can, in a passive mode, they can really digest the knowledge. The other format which has picked up and gained momentum in last couple of years is basically hands-on. And one of my good friend, Dr. Shrikant, who is the CEO for Telangana Skill Academy, he rightly said, a recruiter is not going to really ask the definition of a screwdriver. Now, since you are the head of R&D, what do you think, why this traditional classroom-based learning, of course, it builds very strong foundation of knowledge, but it is not suited for building and preparing students for the real world jobs. What is your thoughts? Why PBL is so important?
Say that in traditional teaching, actually, students basically they attend classes, they attend lectures. Actually, they gain some knowledge that. And in the classroom teaching, it would be mostly theoretical knowledge that. Uh, of course, that in each and every subject there would be some experimental work that. But that would be very limited. Okay, it would be connected with certain concepts, and there the number of hours maybe that it would be 2 hours, 3 hours, like that actually, that
Mhm.
per week. And and it would be very specific to subject only, that it won't cover that the knowledge of the multiple subjects that whereas that if you look at problem based learning, in case of problem based learning, generally students pick up the problem which is connected with the real life for that. And that problem can't be solved with the knowledge of just one subject that it may actually need the knowledge of multiple subjects. They have to understand the problem in detail. They have to see that maybe what kind of knowledge is required to solve that problem. And generally, in case of problem-based learning, that the problem actually it is not independently solved. Actually, that it's solved in a group of students that. Generally that team it is formed actually, and then that team they work together and then they solve the problem. So basically that students also maybe that will understand that will get the experience that how to work in a team, that how to communicate within the team members, and maybe that they may not have the required skills to solve the problem, so they will have to gain some additional knowledge also that so from where that knowledge will be available, that also that they have to take care that either they have to contact some professors or they have to search on internet. So how to gain the knowledge, that additional knowledge, that experience, that also they will gain actually that. And once the problem is fully that understood actually, once the required knowledge it is obtained, then actually that they have to work on the implementation that uh, and along with the implementation, that once the implementation up to certain level it is done, that the testing also will come into picture, that whether that for a particular problem actually whatever the solution which is expected, and for that solution whatever the requirements are there, those requirements are fulfilled or not, that testing it is to be done that so it's a maybe it's a very exhaustive maybe that task actually that and the more important part actually that in case of problem based learning, students get connected with the real life problems and working in a team group of team that so it's very maybe that very much required actually that in today's scenario. Without the problem based learning, I think students will not actually get the confidence to work on the real life problems that so that is what my perception about the requirement of the problem based learning.
No, very true, Dr. Rajesh, and specifically in the background when the whole world is bombarded with ChatGPT and Gemini, the knowledge has become easily accessible, right? So just knowing about what is machine learning or deep learning or CNN, and for that matter, any other area, will not really help you. The employer will pay you the money if you can really solve a problem or can really develop a solution which users can really use. And that's the reason hands-on practical training and training over the project work is very much essential. So we extend a warm welcome to Dr. Sandeep Inanda. He is a champion for project-based learning. Welcome you, sir. Namaskar.
Thank you.
And Dr. Nandar has delivered tech talk on project-based learning, and he has really inspired and given a lot of inputs in terms of building up Assessfy's project-based module. And Dr. Nandar and Assessfy will be rolling out this project-based learning methodology in hundreds of schools across the country and across the globe. Dr. Inandar, over to you. Please enlighten us. Dr. Patil and Dr. Rajesh has already shared their idea about project-based learning, but we would like to really hear from you. What is your idea? Why India or perhaps the whole globe requires project-based learning? What is so important? What is the central theme?
Bhupesh ji, since 1987, I'm in education. I'm a teacher. 2006, I got my first exposure to the project-based learning systems of the Western world. 2006 onwards, I'm working with under the guidance of UNESCO chair in PBL. We experimented for almost 13 years in school, and I'll put my experience in 4 or 5 lines. The first and foremost important is you cannot learn swimming by somebody teaching you in classroom and taking examination. You will have to enter into swimming pool. It's very important. And if you just
Very
compare
true.
and if you just compare how the swimming coach trains a student, the difference is very apparent. This is what is my feeling.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that project-based learning gives 5 characters to any student. First is focus. And although it seems very nice, and very simple word, it's a big word. The focus, technical skills, life skills, innovation, creativity, and capacity to identify a problem. These 5 characters a student I've seen performing in learning and practicing in undergraduate courses. Now, project-based learning to me is, there are two, three perceptions about project. Project-based learning is not about doing project.
Right.
It's about the most of the mistakes which we do in understanding project-based learning, to my experience, is generally, if you see, the professor will define a problem. That's the biggest
Very
mistake
true.
happen. There should be no project statement given to student. Only problem should be told, and the learning starts from understanding, identifying problems, using design thinking, business modeling principles to actually create the problem statement. And the problem statement creation itself becomes very big challenge. The student in a team should work to create a challenge for himself and to work on the challenge under very critical supervision. So actually, when you define a problem, half of the project-based learning is finished. That's one. So student, let him define the problem, let him define the context, let him understand the business parameters of it, let him understand the design principles, costs, everything, and then come up. That is one. Second is, uh, you know, in project-based learning, the student has to perform 150%. So all his qualities, abilities for team working, innovation, everything gets tested. It's a difficult journey, but if it is administered properly, project-based learning, you said it rightly, that knowledge is now available in device. The human brain has to be utilized for the applications, and so that is what is my feeling about project. It's a very delicate subject. We are working since 2006 on project-based learning, and we have conducted few PhD studies also. So my belief is it is very critical to do it than said, but we all need to do it. Without PBL, so I say many times in my speeches that today you accept PBL by your own willingness. Tomorrow it will be compulsory for you. This is my feeling about it.
Very true. You actually nailed it. Uh, yeah, so today maybe it is academic compulsion or academic formality, we can say, but tomorrow it is needed. So I have a software company. So once this chat GPT came, I told my software developers, gentlemen, I'm not paying you money to really write some code which others can't really read and debug. I am paying you money to develop the software which will really work. I don't care whether you're taking the help of ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot. Right? Deliver the product, right? Which consumer will really feel excited. It will really improve their life and they will pay the money for that. And that the reality. So it is not future. It has come down and we are seeing in last 2 years since the ChatGPT is launched, the campus recruitment and slowly and gradually going down, and TCS and Wipro no more coming in the trucks and taking the student. And we have Jacob over here. He's a senior VP for Hexaware and done massive recruitment, thousands and thousands candidate recruitment. Jacob, we would like to hear. I know that patiently you were hearing, eager to share your mind. Please share your thoughts why project-based learning is so important, which need to be included into academia.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everyone. I think project-based learning is something at the time of interview, what do you ask people? People aren't going to ask you your basic theories. People are going to ask you, what was your project? What has been your learning? What did you build? And where did you fail? Okay. Now, we essentially feel that, projects are the places where you would actually have a hands-on experience, look at your creativity, what is required. Also, in terms of whatever knowledge is there, you're going to apply your knowledge and see for yourself. While Bhupesh said earlier, in theory, you could just ask the person and he would give a definition, but actually the applicability is something that you can check, um, you know, if someone has done a project. So we normally focus uh, what a candidate has done during the project for, giving a fair assessment while hiring a person.
Thank you, Jacob. I'll come back to you in terms of a role of industry in this project-based learning. We have Harvey. Harvey, I know that your course, what you teach, is massively hands-on. It is not purely theoretical. What's your experience in other part of the world?
Good evening. I'm Harvey. I'm from the Philippines. I'm currently the dean for the School of Environment and Design. And I think I come from a different industry wherein the programs that I'm actually handling are architecture, industrial design, fashion design, and merchandise, and in the interior design. So project-based learning is really part of how we deliver our curriculum. But I think what has been changing from our delivery's point of view is the shift in the source of knowledge is not just central or not just coming from the mentors or the faculty. So the source of knowledge has now been decentralized. So meaning the students, their peers, can now take up a more active role in their learning. So this creates a more collaborative environment. And I think for the problems that we are facing nowadays, the complexity of the problems that we're facing nowadays, this kind of decentralized source of knowledge, collaborative environment, and PBL is really important for us moving forward as we shift and transform our academic landscape. So the mantra of there is no right or wrong answer is coming to that forefront wherein everyone um, can bring value to the conversation. So especially in our programs we're in, we just what you mentioned, it picked my ear because we actually don't give them full information or instructions on what to do. We just give them the site. These are the ones that you have to investigate in, and then they come in, and then they actually create their own protocols. They create their own problems, and then they come up with their own solutions. So the context is also an active participant in the acquiring of knowledge. So the traditional way of teaching, wherein the teacher is the main source of knowledge, has been shifting already. And I think sadly, there are still institutions that still adhere to this um, traditional mode of learning wherein I'm the teacher, I'm the only source of information. But there are already quite a few institutions that are already shifting into this new mode of knowledge. So in that sense, from our point of view, this evolution of AI and digital learning is not as alarming as other institutions or other industries have been sounding the alarm on. Because for us, AI and digital learning is part of the tool and that actually enhances the learning experience. So it comes out in the process, not in the actual product. And in some cases, it's process-based learning. The outcome is actually not as important as the process.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, check the process more than the product because the product you can shift easily and the iterations can change with just a simple tweak in the process. But the process, if you understand the process, if you understand where you're going and how you're going to turn this uh, context into a solution, that is actually the key to learning. And the tools that we have now, they will just make the process faster, but it can never replace that process, that thinking, and the collaboration that are going on in the academic industries right now is actually quite encouraging, and we are hoping that we can solve more complex problems with that kind of decentralized knowledge base.
No, very true. Thank you so much. So You rightly said that it is not about the project or the product itself. The whole journey, it is not about the destination, it's about the journey. And I can see that you're on the journey. So it's about the journey and enjoying the every destination and learning from that. And that's what the whole objective of the project-based learning. And as Dr. Inamdar also said that it is the student learns a lot of skills which is required for this 21st century. One of the most important thing which Dr. Nandar also highlighted is defining the problem. So today it is not necessarily that you need to know the answer. So today it is most important that you are able to really formulate the question, right question. And today whatever we are doing, right, we are came out of the cave because the caveman son asked the intelligent question to his father that why the hell we are in the cave, why we are not outside. And for centuries we have been asking some good questions, some disruptive questions. And today wherever the society, humanity is reached to this point because we ask right kind of questions. If we stop asking the right kind of questions, we will again go to the cave, right? And perhaps that tells what is happening between Pakistan and India, unfortunately, but we are not here to discuss about India and Pakistan. Let's bring back to our focus on PBL. We have Dr. Ashish Tendulkar, who himself was a faculty with IIT Chennai. Still, he teaches at AJS and IIT Chennai. He is expert on AI and data science. Currently, he is a AI lead with Google. So he has seen both the world, which is academia and industry. Dr. Ashish, would you like to really throw some light and your insight on this project-based learning, why it is so important and where the world is actually moving?
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me to this panel with great speakers. And I was listening on the project-based learning, and project-based learning, I think, is very important. I mean, I will tell you a couple of my experiences from my own teaching. Right, when you teach students, let's say machine learning, because that's my topic, I'm taking examples from that. When you teach them, right, from basic maths and concepts and things like that, that is okay. Student appreciate what you are talking about, but when it comes to implementation, they don't have much clue, right? I mean, they are good at maths and things like that of machine learning, but they don't know how to implement it. But if you flip it around and if you teach machine learning from coding first perspective, where you're not teaching them any maths, any theory, but you are directly making them, get deep into the water and start swimming, right? I mean, that's the analogy I can use, right? I mean, you cannot really learn swimming just by theoretically understanding how to, move your legs and hands and the coordination and things like that. So it's like throwing students right in the water
Right,
and teaching them tricks, right, by practice. That's what I would say is the project-based learning. And when I teach students this topic on machine learning, on reinforcement learning, by first actually, showing them implementation, right, and while explaining the code, you explain the theory behind it. I mean, if
right,
you want to, I mean, not everybody wants to become a researcher, right? Many of the
right,
students want to have practical experience, and people who want to have practical experience are probably aspiring for industry jobs. They should be probably taught in a projects first panel where they get to first of all experience why they're learning this, right?
right.
Otherwise, half of the time students keep wondering, right? I mean, why are they
Mm,
learning this?
mm,
What is the use of this? Right.
mm.
So I believe that, I mean, project-based learning is pretty crucial, and it is also great complementary thing in the world of AI, right? Because now if you want to do something, you can always go to AI and ask it to implement something. But of course,
Right.
you of course require expert to understand what you're
Mm,
doing, or
mm,
you can
mm.
give your work to AI and get feedback on where are you lacking and things like that. So I think project-based learning is very important. At least whatever education student is taking. I mean, that way we will make our workforce far more. I mean, our students far more ready to join workforce, and we will not end up spending a lot of time and energy in retraining them or reorient them to industry. Having said that, I'm not saying that students should not pursue research and have
Right.
studies. I mean, there will always be 5 to 10% student who want to do that, and they should do that. But having practical experience is must, because I also feel that if you look at Americans, right, American universities, right, They teach you a lot of maths, a lot of fundamental basic bottom things. But if you look at their assignments are very, very practical. And
Right.
there is no, I would say, there is very, very calibrated expectation from the student, where
Mm,
if you
mm.
see assignment, there are step-by-step process, what you should be doing in order to solve the problems. And that is pretty much the blueprint to do any of the project. So I'm a great fan of project-based learning, and I cannot agree more about points that are being said here.
No, very true. For last 10 years, in fact, at Aegis School of Data Science, we have implemented extensive project-based learning, and project-based learning not only at the program level, but individual course level, even at the topic level, right? And what we have adopted is basically hybrid approach. And hybrid approach, typically what you do, you teach them the linear algebra or matrices or say linear regression, and you give them the simple problem. So they know the knowledge and they're able to immediately apply, and they're preparing for the bigger problem, maybe like building up a project later on to detect, say, breast cancer through the X-ray or CT scans, right? Or maybe thermal image, right? So they actually gain the knowledge, they apply the knowledge, and then slowly and gradually they prepare themselves for the bigger goals, bigger project-based learning rather than fully going on the solo on the project-based learning. Because in the real world, what we have also faced that students, since they come from a heavy tutoring mode, they actually complain that no, I don't know about CNN or basic deep learning and how I will be able to really build this model. And you have not taught, and I have paid you money to really teach me, right? So those are some practical bottlenecks you also face in the ground, and that's where perhaps we and they have valid reason, because some concepts are extremely difficult, and this scaffolding approach actually works, that you pick and choose. You don't give them complete stuff, you give them some. Let's example, currently I'm mentoring a project to my student which is like building up a facial recognition based attendance system, right? So I gave them inputs on CNN, YOLO, right, all those kind of stuff, basic stuff. But a lot of other stuff, let's example 50% of the theory I have not taught them, right? So I gave them the project. I said, okay, you know the basic stuff. Now you start developing in this project, and whatever the knowledge gap you find will be needing to really execute that project, go and learn, right? So you build them some base and then throw them the water and then actually learn them. So they also build critical thinking, they also build the problem solving. In this process they also acquire relevant knowledge and skills which is there for the market. Now coming back to you, Dr. Patil, while AICT and regulator has made internship and final year project mandatory, which is there for ages, what are the practical say difficulties in terms of really implementation of project-based learning or the current project which are there in engineering college?
Uh, what I think is, and what we experience is the sheer number of students
Right,
and allocating, finding them project, because that is good in theory that students should find the problem, but
right,
it is not possible for every student. So
mhm,
some hand holding has to be done. Then
right,
once the group is finalized, then what is the optimum size of the particular group?
mhm,
Because always, if it is a bigger group, always there will be some sleeping students.
mhm,
And then how to allot the guides to them, depending on the expertise. Again, here again, the expertise of the faculty is not, we don't have so many experts in so many topics. In
right,
a typical engineering college, I'm saying. And then the other thing is how to monitor them continuously. Say, what are the stages, which stages are there? Because if it is a full year project, still you can do something. But if it is a small project and a topic and on that, it gives you very small amount of time frame. So
right,
monitoring that, and then again, the final thing is how to assess them.
mhm,
So
mhm,
these are the very big challenges. And when you say internship, finding the internships for so many students, because there are so many engineering colleges, and I think industry is not able to give those things. And as you can see that there are some factories like they will give you the certificate of the internship. So,
Right.
these are the side effects of that particular thing. That internship is
Very true.
mandatory, then are ready to give in 5,000. That this is the thing. So monitoring that in our institute, what we do, if it is an internship, periodically we allot the teachers, say in Pune, if there are say 50 students, so we allot say 10 teachers. Periodically they visit at least twice in a semester, and they will talk with the people there exactly how he is performing, and the assessment is done jointly by the industry mentor and the faculty. So somewhat that kind of thing, but finding the industry is willing to take up these students is very difficult.
Right. True. I think we have Jacob, and Jacob may perhaps can really answer and help us to really understand how industry can really help us providing the internship. And the government is also pushing this agenda about facilitating internship to every student, right? So they are also cognizant of the fact that internship and project-based learning can only take this engineering education to the next level. So over to you, Jacob.
So I think when I'm going through the demo of Assessfy, today the concern that we have is who can spend time on mentoring people. So that's the biggest concern, right? And then how much time person can spend. So today what we do is we allocate a project, and on a weekly basis we start doing an assessment of the same. Now, when we were looking at the tool, we could realize that the basic things are being checked by the AI, and what I need to do basically is to uh, give an overall mentorship to the person rather than reviewing the code or stuff like that. So I think with that in place, the volume can actually increase. The number of people that we can manage could actually increase in terms of the internship part of it. Because there is no load per se. I also could realize when the same student is being assessed by the teacher and getting a consolidated view of what is the person exactly doing with an organization. I think it's a two-way approach. Both the college and the industry would have a better tie in understanding what the person is learning and what is the progress which is happening.
Right. No, thank you. Thank you so much. Dr. Namdar, what are your thoughts? How, Dr. Patil has actually highlighted practical problems, even though while we want to really implement it and we have the real world practical issues, logistic issues, operational issues. What do you think, in your opinion, how artificial intelligence can help us meet those challenges and transform this PBL learning? You're on mute, Dr. Namdar.
I think there are two ways to look at it. My personal experience, because I completely agree with Mr. Patil, the way he shared his problems, he was very modest to share the problems. The problems are really more deep.
Right.
So, first thing is top to bottom approach has never been successful in India.
Right.
AI says, and then people comply, is not the yardstick for PBL. PBL
Very
should
true.
come from bottom to top. That's my
Right.
idea. Secondly, he said rightfully about the expertise of teachers. So many experts are not available. I go further and say that, how about the mindset of teachers? The mindset of teachers, see, Mr. Daheria, in most of the best universities in the world, they teach 6 hours and students work 40 hours. We teach 36 hours.
Right.
And hardly student works.
Very true.
So I think the AI and other the tool which you have shown me, the first and foremost important thing which the tool brings is authenticity.
Very true.
I have been in assessment of projects, assessment of papers, and I know I'm a teacher, and I must agree that we don't do justice
Mhm,
for so many reasons. The same way, a student goes to industry, gives us a certificate, we ask him 3, 4 questions,
mhm,
and even if you monitor it quite some, I think if a student or the teacher really works with this tool, probably they'll be more interested to work.
mhm.
I also have to add that we call project teams. We don't call project groups. Teams and
Right.
groups are different.
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
Second thing is the assessment becomes far better.
hmm.
See, if you give me half a minute, I'll tell you.
Please.
Last week, I met a CEO of a company, US company, who handles 8 countries.
Mhm,
They have 400 salespeople who every day go and pitch and create leads, and those leads are further processed for marketing and sales of a product.
mhm,
The US company told him, I'm giving you 2 AI agents,
mhm.
test them and give me a report. And
Right.
his study is complete. Now he says these 2 AI agents can much better work against those 40 odds, 400
Very
odds.
true.
So
Very true.
now, today, I'm completely convinced that these 2 AI agents are overperforming those 400 people, but I'm not able to recommend it to the company because they will lose their job. But that's
Hmm,
not my problem. The
hmm.
problem is I'll be the next. In this situation, how education with this kind of, project based learning believes that there should be no, prerequisite.
Right.
Give a problem, let the student work, tutor him,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
way the IIT Chennai person was saying, tutor him and let him learn. This is exactly PBL model, which has to be in. So I think that AI and all that will impact huge.
Yeah. No, no, very true. So not anymore will be competing with humans, will be competing with the swamp of AI agents, which are going to really
Absolutely.
more than the human population, and they will be pretty much smart. But at least somebody need to really tell the AI agents what problem they need to really solve, and that is
Absolutely.
where perhaps human will not lose their relevance.
Yes.
We also have Mr. Raju, who is the president from Chetana Institute of Management and Research. I'll request Mr. Raju if you can switch on your video and you can also share your thoughts. And this whole panel is very heavy on technology. We would like to hear your thoughts on perhaps on management, how uh, project-based learning is being implemented in management education. Mr. Raju, if you're there. Okay, so while Mr. Raju is joining again,
Can
coming
you,
back to hello.
sir, can you hear me?
Yes, 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 we can hear you.
You
We
see,
can hear you.
in the last month, we had
Yeah,
a national conference on AI and this one, uh, on AI.
right.
And we have discussed the things on the AI.
Mhm,
And executive director of this one, SAB, has conducted our national conference. He has come and he has given his thoughts on the AI. And also, uh, this DMD of the EIT, Vidya Krishnan, she has come from Calcutta, share her, share her this one on artificial.
Mr. Raju, unfortunately, we your voice is breaking. We are not able to hear you.
So I'm traveling.
So unfortunately, we are not able to hear you. Your voice is cracking.
Okay. I'm traveling,
You,
sir. I'm
okay,
traveling.
okay, okay, okay. No worries, no worries.
Okay.
So coming back to Dr. Ashish, Dr. Ashish, would you like to relate, since you are the AI expert, now Dr. Sandeep has highlighted problem, Dr. Patil has highlighted problem, how AI can really help educators, teachers in terms of project-based learning, because not every faculty has the domain understanding or maybe prerequisite knowledge to execute the project. And as Dr. Inamdar rightly said, that it is not about giving the prerequisite knowledge to the student in PBL learning. You just give them the problem and let them explore and acquire the skills which is required to solve that problem. So that frees faculty members from this burden, and that requires more of a behavioral change than the technology adoption. But which are the areas where AI can really help and make life easier for the faculty and institutions and students?
I think asking critical questions to AI is important. And
Yeah,
what AI brings in is that even if I do not have understanding of a topic, AI can basically tell me, right,
right,
how to learn a topic. So
right,
even if I don't know anything, I mean, I'm again saying that AI can hallucinate all the problems of AI. I mean,
right. Yeah, yeah. That's
I'm
with the
just
human being as well.
yeah. So basically, humans also hallucinate. We also
Yes,
fake things.
yeah,
So basically, what AI is doing is that AI is basically bringing a natural language interface. So you
mm,
can ask if you so all the quality that you need to have is you need to be curious and you need to have time,
mm,
and then ask right questions to AI. AI can guide you right how a project can be done. So even if a faculty member today is not knowing something about a particular topic, but faculties, of course, critical thinkers, they have seen the world, they know how to present a topic and things like that. They can always ask that question to AI and ask AI to give them steps, right, how to solve a problem.
right. Yeah,
And that is what is, I would say, a biggest revolution that I see. And you don't really have to be expert in a field, but you should have common sense to figure out what AI is saying is correct or not, and then maybe help student go through it. So take steps from AI, and ask students to implement each of those steps. I mean,
mm,
AI can literally, I mean, I have seen a
yeah,
situation where I have given problem to AI, and with 4 or 5 prompts, I had pretty much the starter source code for that particular project. So that type of control we have now. Of course, I'm talking about all known problems. If you ask really a novel problem, AI won't be able to answer. Those limitations are there, but most of the common problems, right? I mean, AI can give you really good guidance how to go about solving it and things like that.
yeah,
So I think we should make use of this. So we have some kind of superpower, not exactly superpower, but we have a better way of consuming information from the
yeah,
internet, right? What AI is
right,
doing is AI has pretty much is trained on the entire internet information that humanity knows,
yeah,
and we can basically use this amazing tool. We can interact with this tool not with any programming language, but with our own natural language, and that can give us answers. So I think we should make use of that, and tools like Assessify will really automate these things. Sometimes people do not. I mean, I understand, right? I mean, people do not have skills, people are not aware how to talk with AI, but tools like Assessify, where we can actually create prompts, create right kind of workflows, right? So that we can aid this kind of project-based learning, right? Starting from, if you give a problem, tool gives us set of steps, and we can literally unravel it just like one peel at a time, right? And we
yes,
go to the core of the problem. And not only that, it also can assess it. So even if you're not familiar with a project, we can use these Assessify learning tools to assess, right, each of the steps for the student and give the feedback. So I would say, using tool, right, if you are not expert in this, would make a lot of sense. And because tool is developed by experts, right, who understand how to
yes.
go about solving it. So there's always advantage rather than doing things on your own.
No, very true. So AI has created a very strong and robust knowledge infrastructure. So no more faculty need to feel burdened that if they can't solve the problem, student can't really solve it. So one of my teacher used to say, uh, the day your student beat you, you think that you have done the good job. Right. So I think we need to build the capabilities rather than just giving them the knowledge and share the knowledge. Dr. Rajesh, over to you before we start the question answer and the demo session. What do you think where AI can really come handy to help implement this PBL learning in education institutions, and specifically university like your university, which deals with millions of the students?
See that actually I myself searched on various platforms so that
Right,
with a word that applications of artificial intelligence in education on
right.
Science Direct, IEEE Explore, Springer.
Hmm, hmm,
So I got some maybe that impressive results, maybe
hmm.
some numbers which are eye-catching.
Hmm.
On Science Direct, as on today actually, that some 69,000 papers are published that
Very
on
true.
applications of artificial intelligence in education. And
Hmm.
in last 10 years, that number is something 53,000, close to 53,000. On IEEE Explore, it's close to 11,000, and in last 10 years, it's 10,000. Springer, again, actually, it's a 61,000 something, and last 10 years, it's something 45,000. So AI has maybe that huge number of applications in artificial intelligence, maybe that education actually. And I have read some papers actually related to problem-based learning, that applications of artificial intelligence in problem-based learning. So one paper actually that it talked about the formation of groups, that uh, formation of groups actually that's a somewhat challenging task in case of problem-based learning. So even actually AI can help you that how to form the groups, that now, see that Dr. Sandeep Inamdar, he said actually that problem, it should be problem statement, it should be identified by the student. But
Right,
depending upon the program, and we should look at that what is the time available, that maybe that
very
there are
true.
maybe that sometime actually that project-based learning, it has to be completed within 6 months. Sometime actually it would be a part of one subject, sometime it could be that for 1 year, that so depending upon the time available, maybe that either we should leave students to find out the problem, or actually the faculty has to that allot the problem to the students, that and many times what is observed actually, that when the faculty allots the problems are repetitive in nature, that
Very
uh,
true.
maybe that if you look at last 10 years problems that which are assigned by the faculty, majority of the problems are repetitive, that uh,
Yes.
of course each and every problem that might have multiple solutions, but generally actually that multiple solutions doesn't come out, that
Hmm,
that so that is that one of the biggest challenge actually in case of problem based learning. So maybe that artificial intelligence, it could be used actually that for identification of problems as well, that
very true.
it sometimes it gives some interesting problems that which we might not have thought of, that there would be huge data available with that this chat gpt and all these platforms, that so faculty must use it actually, that to find out some, to identify certain interesting problems, even actually maybe that assessment formation of groups, there actually it could be used, I don't know that whether I've not actually tried myself whether the chat gpt
No,
can.
it effectively works like say so the AI can give the recommendation based on like the skills and competencies or education qualification, right, or their interests. It can really formulate the groups based on the problem requirement. And my colleague Purvesh is going to really give the demonstration
Mhm.
about those capabilities of AI.
Mhm.
It can. So every point which you said, it's a very valid where AI can be used. Now, Purvesh Matre will be giving the demonstration about this
Just
tool, and
adding to
then,
the
yeah, please,
discussion,
sir. Yeah, please.
uh, actually what happens, even if the teacher wants to assess continuously, it is physically not possible when the
Very
number
true.
of students are more. So
Yes,
if there are, even if it is say 60 student batch and teacher is normally teaching in 2, 3 classes, so around say 180 students, and then even if it takes 4 students per group, so those many students, so that way these tools will be useful. When I
very
have
true.
not seen the demo, but actually when I went through the earlier demonstration, I think that will be useful because for the
Yes,
students also, for the teacher, it is physically impossible. Because not only this, there are so many things AICT, government, universities
yes,
asking, and then this NBA, NAC. So they are so busy. So it is not possible. And the teaching is also there. Like you said,
Yes,
40 hours, 36 hours, teachers are teaching. So
yes,
tools are necessary. So that
yes,
will help the teachers to effectively and transparently assess it. It is not like somebody is just shining and giving, then teacher will give him more marks. So
very
actually,
true,
the
very,
silent partner who is working, he may not be that expressive. So that is one thing. And second thing is, if every time, like you said, real-time feedback is given by the tool itself, that is not possible that student teacher will give feedback to each and
yes,
every student. So I think the hybrid mode will be most useful,
yes.
where the day-to-day things and real-time things will be handled by the AI, and the overall assessment can be handled by the teacher.
Very true, Dr. Patel. So let's see what AI can really do, and then after that, we'll open the question answer to the audience, and I'll request all the panelists to please stay back, and the audience can really ask the question to any of the panelists. Either you can really write in the chat box, or you can use your microphone to ask the questions. So Purvesh, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, yes, yes. Loud
Yeah,
and clear.
great. Great. So, good afternoon to all, to the respected speakers and all the joining members for today's webinar. So, I'll just quickly share my screen and we'll start with the presentation. Yes, I hope my screen is again visible to everyone.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, great. So, this was the today's topic for the webinar, the project based learning, and how Assessfy AI can help into that to the students, to the faculty members to use it and go through the project based learnings as well. So basically the objective behind this is to empower the teachers to use this so that they can have a collective evaluation of the project based learnings for the students with the different project ideas that the platform can empower them, the documentation where they can have the complete documentation of the students in a single platform on a single location. Then they can do the evaluation doing the either going with the manual evaluation or using the Assessfy AI, and then finally providing the feedback to the students as well. So all these activities today we are going to see in this presentation, so I'll just quickly start with it. So this was it. So this is the agenda for my today's presentation. So we'll start with how the platform will help the teachers or faculties to generate the project submission link. Okay, that is basically the assigning the projects to the students or using the project ideas, the repository of Assessfy AI. Okay, then we'll see the student portal as well, how the students can submit their project submissions, okay, on the platform. And again, going back to the teachers, how they can monitor and do the tracking of the project progress as well as the evaluation of the submissions as well. So we'll just quickly start with the first point, that is how you can create the submission link. Okay, so for that I'll just quickly show you on the screen, please have a look. So basically for this you just create an assessment link, okay, in the form of project. Okay, so this is the assessment link where you can create that, that is project assessment. Again, this is a three-step process to create a submission link where you create the project type, whether it is a final year project, it is a capstone project, it is a hackathon, it is your portfolio project. So different type of projects this platform can support. Okay, so for that, this is the first step where you put that, you highlight that which type of project you're going to give, some description about the project, how exactly the project is going to look, what is the outcome that you need out of this project. Okay, so let's quickly see that. In that you can add the deadline of the project, what should the start and end time of the project, what are the passing marks, what are the total marks of the project. You also can enable picture proctoring, video proctoring. This is very helpful in case if you're running a hackathon in your college or at your place. So where this particular proctoring features are very useful. Again, there are different patterns of project that you can use. Either like you can go with definitely it has a milestone based assessment. So in that, if you want to introduce your own set of rubrics, that is evaluation criteria, you can have a choice. So basically this is completely a flexible platform that we are offering, where you can do the modification or choose your own set of parameters specifically. Going further, you can again do have some additional settings here for that. And then we go to the next step, that is adding the project titles, or you can say the project ideas basically. So here you just select the different type of programs from which the projects are going to be covered. Okay, so you can have a look at that. So you can do a selection, and finally you add the participants. So this is a basic process that you follow. So I'll just quickly show you with a real project that we have already uploaded. So how real it looks like to see when you add any project title or project idea. So I'm just showing an existing example here. Okay, so as you can see, this is a project that we have already fed in the system, where you can see the project type. It is a final year project of computer engineering. Some description about the project. You can see the start and end time, the duration of the project, what is the passing marks it has, what are the total marks, and then you go to the second step. Here you can add the project ideas. Here we have already added one project idea, as you can see on the screen. We'll just quickly show you how you can add more project ideas. For example, in a batch of 60 students, you want to add different project ideas to different batch of group. So you can add by doing this. So I'll just quickly show you for computer engineering. I'm just showing you.
So Dr. Patil, so this addresses your problem that in real world scenario, not every student is capable of actually defining their own problem. And as Dr. Rajesh has also pointed out, so this perhaps can be either on course level or maybe topic level. You can really create the repository of the project, a large repository of the project. So Dr. Rajesh, it will really avoid the repetition of the project idea, right? And it will also aid into the learning. But at the same time, you can really have an option that you do not select the project idea. You give this problem to student, that let them find out the problem statement, let them find out the project idea. And then you give the approval, as Dr. Inamdar was pointed out. So it works in the both the level, whether it is a totally PBL learning or whether it is in a hybrid model. Over to you, Parmesh.
Yeah, I'm going to show that point as well, where how you can let the students select the project ideas. This is I'm showing you, if you have the ideas or repository with you, you can use that. Okay. For example, I'm just showing you one of the project title, how you can add in the list. Just click and add to project. Okay, so the complete details about that project idea will be feeded in this particular submission link. So I'm just scrolling down. Okay, so this was the project that I have just selected. Now with this project, you can even link your rubrics, that is evaluation criteria, that on which parameters you're going to do the evaluation. So here you can see the list of templates of the rubrics. Okay, okay, and even you can have a look at that. This is the multiple level rubrics that can be used. So this is, you need to feed that into the system before you start using the platform.
And just hold down, Purvesh, just freeze the screen, just show the milestone. So add Dr. Ashish was also talking about that, yes, AI can really break down this problem into the multiple pieces, tangible goals, which can be termed as a milestone. And these each milestone will become easier for a student to really digest, and they can really complete the project in step-by-step function. And that also becomes easier for faculty members to really evaluate. So these milestones, either the faculty can decide or a student can really decide, or you can outsource this activity to AI, and AI can really give you the recommendation, and you can actually fine tune those milestones. And this also gives typically how much marks each milestone can be allocated, or what could be perhaps the time duration for each milestone, 3 days or 4 days, or maybe a month, depending on the total duration which you really allocate for that project, right? So this project does not really go for the infinite time. Yeah, go ahead, Pravesh.
And another benefit of this milestone is like when you provide the timeline. So the during the deadline, it will continuously poke or continuously notify the students like, okay, so 1 day is left for your submission for this milestone. So continuously it is getting notifying the students as well. So the students are aware the deadline of the milestone and project, and they are going to work on it.
This is a good nudging system.
So this was the first part where you can define the project ideas at the start. Okay, the another part here is like you can just let the students select. So here there is an option where you can highlight Either you can select the title, okay, on this step, or you can allow the student to select there. You can leave this all complete fields blank. So it enables the student to fill up the project title, project description, other details of the projects, as you can see here. So we have just described this. You just need to put this as blank. So that the rest of the information, yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
For this,
move
and
next,
now
Umesh.
the next step you need to do is that adding or allocating this project to the students, basically. That is the third step of creating the project submission link. So I'll just quickly have a look at that. Yeah. So now add participants. So here on the screen, you can allocate the students, or you can see who are students are already allocated for the particular project. So as you can see here, you just need to select the project title, or you can create the groups and you can allocate the groups, or you can even add individual candidates as well by just doing the search. Correct. You can see here what all students are allocated. If you want to edit or remove any students, you can just simply select the student and you can click on delete. So it will remove the student from the particular project in case any student want to back out from that particular project idea.
And you can also allocate the industry mentors. So, so Dr. Patil, you must be having thousands of your alumni working in the industry, right? So, but as Jacob said, that most of these industry folks do not have time to invest in terms of really evaluating the project. So you can just add those mentors. And now basic part Assessfy AI will do break down the milestone, and they can really devote 1 hour, 2 hour per week or every 15 days and can really give some mentorship to the student, or maybe fine tune the project idea. Yeah, Purvesh, move ahead.
So once you allocate the project ideas or project submission to the students, so next I'll just quickly show you the student side, how the student are going to use this to look at the project details and do the submission. So this is a student account, just I'm showing you, they can see the title of the project, what is the type of project they are going to submit, and the submission link basically. And here on this particular screen, they will get the complete picture or complete idea about the project, where it has, you can mention the skill set, the prerequisites, the tool that the student need to use for submit or for creating the project documentation. The student
this
can
is very
see.
important thing. So sometimes what happens, the project students are not able to complete the project because they're over enthusiastic. And in academic world, typically in India, you do not give them a lot of time. There is a lot of theoretical load is there. So unlike Western education, they don't have enough time to really execute the project. So they need to really know what they're getting into. So this is able to really tell them that what kind of skills and knowledge it will be required, what kind of tools they need to really have to execute that project. So they at least get some clarity, right? And while they're doing the project, they also keep on acquiring the knowledge if they don't have.
Yeah, so they can have the list of other members of those who are allocated with the project. And finally, they can see the list of milestone as well that they need to cover up. Okay. And on the basis of milestone, they can do the submission as well. They can manually update the progress of the milestone. They can do the attachment. They can paste their external URL as well, any video URL if they have generated. Okay. And finally, they can have a preview as well of their own document, or the other people or the other member, those who have submitted uh, for that particular milestone. So this is the complete interface of the students, how they are going to use it and do the submissions. So once the submissions are done, then becomes the final step where, as a teacher or as a faculty, you're going to evaluate those submissions. For that is the tracking and doing the monitoring of the project. So here again, we go to the faculty side, where you just go to the result part, and you can see all the project ideas or project submission links that you have created on your dashboard. Okay, we're going to take an example of, again, a computer engineering. We'll take an example to see. And under that, how many project ideas were introduced, as you can see here. And finally, you can see the progress of that project. What all students are allocated to that project, you can see. You can go to the view result part. And again, the UI is similar as the students can see, but few more options as a teacher. Okay. or you can see the student, those are allocated to this, and finally the milestone. And here you can see, as you can see on the screen, what all submission for each milestone, how many students had done their submission. You can see in this particular screen. So on the right side, as you can see, this is the student name. Okay. And on this particular screen, you can see how many students had done this submission on this particular milestone. Now, and finally, you go and you just see the submission done by the students in the preview. Correct. And here you have the option to either go with the manual evaluation, or you can use the grade me button to for the Assessfy AI to do the AI evaluation on this. So before that, you can have a look at the submissions. So for each milestone, you can see what submission has been done and by which student as well. That also you can see on the screen.
So Assessfy AI can basic evaluate basic code, basic PPTs, some project ideas, documentation.
the
Of course, it
next
can't really evaluate
milestone.
your presentation, which is the final project presentation that faculty has to really evaluate. But what it facilitates, it gives the centralized documentation repository
Yes.
to whether it is a faculty member or external evaluator, which could be the industry mentor. So that way, it actually helps you to implement the project-based learning at a large scale, whether you have 60 students or you have maybe 50,000 students, doesn't matter. And it supports whether it is a K-12, whether it is a engineering education, whether it is a management education, whether it is a arts and science, it doesn't matter whichever field, whether it is a bachelor's or master's or PhD, or whether you're taking the industry consulting from outside or a research project or any other thing. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Purvesh. Thank you so much. So I request all the panelists to please switch on your video, and IT team, please allocate right to speak to all the participants. My request to all the participants, if you have any question, please write it in the chat or use a microphone to ask and direct your question to any specific panelist. Okay, so it seems that there's no question from the audience, right? In this case, like I will request all the panelists to give 1 minute closing note from all the speakers. The last step is written, evaluate. Okay, here are the questions. How can we explore this tool more, and can we get the detailed link? Yes, Reshma, you can get in touch with Anita and Purvesh, and they will certainly help you. The last step is written as evaluate using the AI. Yes, Anupam, you can use AI to evaluate the entire project, or you can use manually as the way you have been evaluating. But the best approach is doing basically in co-pilot mode, which is hybrid mode. So certain part, let's example, question answer from the project team cannot be done by the AI. That individual faculty and mentors need to really do. But other part, which is code or other documentation is concerned, that AI can really do the basic job. How can really explore this tool? Yes, you can really send the request. You can get in touch with Anita, or our team will get in touch with you, Dr. Ujwal, and they can facilitate this tool. Okay, so now we are on the closing time, right? So I'll request Dr. Rajesh, Dr. Patil, Dr. Ashish, please give your closing note, maybe in 30 seconds to 1 minute.
I think it's a great tool, and people should take advantage of that. All the problems that we talked about, right, and the benefit of project-based learning. I believe that this tool should be explored by academics, to facilitate tool-based learning, project-based
Thank you,
learning.
thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, Dr. Ashish. Dr. Patil.
Actually, this looks like a very good tool, especially for the institutes in a rural setting. where the expertise is not that much available from the industry and all those things.
Right.
But I will request as a director of this institute that make it affordable too.
Yes, sir. No, that's the whole idea, that we are trying to really make it very affordable. I don't want to really disclose the price, but when you will hear the price, you will be surprised. The idea is that we want to really empower the student and tech teachers across the world. Like, for example, UAE government just recently launched AI curriculum embedding into the schools, and most of the schools are not prepared, and they also have one of the point of basically rolling out the project-based learning at school level, right? And there we have created the large repository of the AI projects for every grade, for fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, up till the 12th grade. And likewise in engineering, civil engineering, mechanical, chemical, electrical, right? So agnostic of subject, agnostic of the field, agnostic of the whether it is a K-12 or bachelor's or master's or a PhD. Right. Dr. Rajesh.
This tool looks to be useful. Actually, we would like to have a demo of this tool at our university in front of the academic team, if it is possible. And
Right.
we also have one PMMS, that is a project management and monitoring system tool, available at the
Right.
university. Of course,
Right.
actually, it doesn't use AI, artificial intelligence, but maybe
Right.
that it works on this particular line only. That so we would
Right.
like to have the demo of this tool at our university.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Thank you. Dr. Inamdar, you would like to really provide the closing note?
I think this 1.5 hours spent will help us to achieve PBL more. And this tool, I'm very sure, will act as a AI agent for every AI assistant for every teacher to improve the quality of projects, conduction, propagation, outcome, and monitoring everything. So let's welcome it and go ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And moreover, like a lot of colleges which are in the remote areas or different part, right? Not everything AI can really do. So there is a lot of hand holding which is needed. And that's where we are teaming up with Dr. Inamdar and Assessfy and Dr. Inamdar. We are going together, and will be also offering this as a managed service model to schools and institutions in terms of rolling out the project-based learning, which will involve not only training the faculty members how to actually roll out the project-based learning, but at the same time, they will also be
Yes.
able to really use this tool to make it scalable. So the idea is, can say 200 million students across the globe or 50 million teachers across the globe can really use it, right? And thank you so much for patiently hearing and participating from across the globe, and give a big hand to all our experts and to all the audience. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.